מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Are we ready for a lively family Shabbat? Are our religious school students ready to help lead us? Oh gosh, I guess everybody, we just go home now. The religious school kids aren't ready to lead us. Yes? You do want to sing? You're ready to lead us in Shabbat? Okay. Well, first, we're going to start with our Shabbat blessings. So I'm going to invite up our Oneg families, Jeff, and I don't know if Mike can hear me out there in the lobby, but if he wants to come in and also... No, Jeff is also perfectly capable of doing it on his own if need be. And the blessings are on page 120. Are there's candles or matches? Okay. What?
Any women to light candles?
Well, you didn't bring your wives, so you know. What? They're good.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, clothe us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. And now we welcome in the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi on pages 138 and 139. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach verse 9, I invite you, if you're able, to rise and face the door and imagine Shabbat as a bride coming in through the doors, coming down the aisle to join us in our sanctuary. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva orech kumi uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai elayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. So we've expressed how wonderful it is to be in this room together praying as brothers and sisters, and we've lit our Shabbat candles and welcomed in the Sabbath bride, and soon we will turn to our official call to worship, the Baruch Hu. But what are we praying for tonight? Can somebody tell me something that they are grateful for? Naomi? Rabbi. Aw, thanks. Eli, was that a hand? Do you have something you're grateful for? What's something you're thankful for? Your daddy. Carl, how about you? Are you thankful for something? My dad. Your dad? Okay, you have another one? Tell us another one.
For ice cream. I love ice cream. I'm thankful for it. I have another thing.
Okay, what's one more?
I'm thankful for food.
For food. Mario, is that a hand? Do you want to share something you're thankful for? Yeah. That you got here? I'm thankful that you're here. Yes. Me too. Somebody who hasn't gone yet. Yes. Ooh, yes. Wonderful. Anybody else besides Naomi? Miriam?
I guess I'm grateful for all the students that I teach.
Very nice. Wonderful. It sounds like we're ready to pray. What do you think? Are we ready to really pray now? No? All right, Naomi, give us your last one, and then we'll be ready to pray.
I'm thankful for my mommy.
Very nice. All right. Now let's rise for the call to worship on page 146. And I would like to ask that Kita Aleph, that's Carl and Eli, come up and help lead us. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
We're going to face this way. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Le'olam Va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due, now and forever. Yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Yasher Koach. Do you want to tell them they can sit down? No? Okay. You may be seated. And we read together on page 148. Boys. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time, and changes the seasons. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On page 152 and 153, we have the Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta. And I'd like to ask anyone from Kita Bet, I think that's just Naomi today, to come up and help us lead that. Okay, ready?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You're going to sing it right?
I am.
Okay. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuta, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuta, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol neotecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshachbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu totafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru ba'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
You may be seated.
So, the Hafta is all about love, how we show our love for God. And before the Shema, sometimes we sing or say the words of Ahavat Olam, which is all about how God shows God's love for us. What is one way you can show your love to the people around you, or to Judaism, or to God? How do you show love? I see you mouthing an answer. Do you want to share it? No. Anybody? Mario? Being kind. Good. How else? Naomi, how do you show love?
To share with others.
Very good. Sharing. Do you have something?
Animals.
How do you show love to animals? Okay, taking care of people or animals. Physical needs, that's a really big thing in Ve'ahavta. God shows us that he loves us by taking care of our physical needs. Naomi, what else?
Making sure you help them when they need needs.
Okay, helping. What's one way you help your mom when she needs help?
Like laundry or when her back hurts.
Okay, good.
That goes on.
How does mom show her love for you?
She loves me and she kisses me and hugs me and lets me do everything I want.
I don't think that last one is true, but okay. All right, so hugs and kisses, showing affection to the people we love. How do you show affection to God? Yeah, you want to guess?
Praying for him.
What a good answer. Great. Okay, so we're going to continue praying on page 156, and Ben is going to come up and read for us.
All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and save us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people, Israel, out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witness your dominance, they praise your name in gratitude, and they accept in your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyous.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki v'ada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. On page 162, did it not have it? Oh, that's... Okay. Slideshow's a little off tonight. 162 for Vishamru, and if any students of the religious school would like to come up to the bima for this one, all are welcome to partake in the joy of Shabbat. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. We come now to the central portion of our evening prayer. You can go back to your spot.
You may be seated.
Actually, they're going to have to rise. Do you want to tell them that?
You may rise.
The Amidah begins on page 164 and continues over the next few pages. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, V'zocher chastei avod v'imahot, u'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, le'ma'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye ha'kol atah rav le'hoshia, ma'ashiv haruach u'morid ha'gashem. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofe cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, Omida melech, melech meimir tu mechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yihallelu selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. And we continue together on page 172. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rests. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. Let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 178, we pray for peace, and I would like to invite up Kita Gimel to help lead us in this prayer, in Shalom Rav. That's the oldest class, Kita Gimel. No, it goes right in your face. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom, ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov benecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol et uvechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Yasher koach. We take a moment now for silent prayer. You might, silenter than that. You might use the words on pages 180 and 181 or the meditations of your own heart. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai צורי Adonai צורי וגואלי May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and redeemer. We turn our thoughts now to those who are ill or injured or in recovery and in need of healing. We have on our list Mary Kennedy, Rosalind Cantu, Sharon Buell, Mike Haug, Lori Perry, Nick Joliot, Bernard Strassner, Fran Warona, Ariel Batsluva, Gail O'Neill, Rhoda Wessler, Marion Finkel, Skip, Kathy, and Jeffrey Brace, George Balthazar, Robin Callahan, Ernie Weissman, Ricky Grant, Shoshana Bat Abraham, Minna Dornfeld, Amanda Jensma, John Manners, Michael Kumakawa, and Neil Savage. And if anyone else has a name they'd like to share at this time, please do so. The Mishaberach is on page 371, and we hold in our hearts all those in need of healing of mind, body, or spirit. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We also pray for the health and safety of all those in our community who are active military duty, first responders, and peacekeepers, those around the world whose jobs are dangerous so that our lives might not be. We have on that list Patrick Carlton, Oni Hannanen, Joshua Ehrlichman, Martin Brown, Richard Rubino, Howard Mergler, Kyle Smet, Andrew Booth, Joseph Cald, Daniel and Bridget Stambowski, many members of the Nemero family, Pete Abelson, Jeremy Sharkey, Benjamin Hurd, Alexander Furman, Daniel Gilman, Curtis Miller, Rob Apgar, Ben Farrell, Caleb Menzies, Francis Petraka, Noah Kaplan, and Janet Ingraham. And of course, all those in the armed services and on the ships at sea that tune in and watch us from our live stream. May the one who blessed our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, bless those who are serving in our armed services. May God guard them and keep them from harm. If they find themselves in danger's path, may God bring them back whole of mind and body to all those who love them. May it be your will, Adonai Tsevaot, to lead them to safety and to protect them from each and every enemy and ambush. May God make their journey successful and guard their going out and coming in with mercy and love, and let them be blessed to return home with life and peace, now and forever. And let us say, Amen. Does anybody know what the Torah portion is this week? Yes, Sophia. Shemot, what is that? The first portion of Exodus. So who's born that's really important? Ben. Moses. What does Moses do? Why is he important? Go ahead. He saves the Israelites. In this week's portion? No, but eventually. Okay. So he saves them from what? Yeah. From the Pharaoh. And they go from slavery into freedom. Thank you. Yes. And what is Monday? Do you know? Yeah? Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Who is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Do you know why? Yes. To this country, anyway. Singular. Yeah. He brought fairness and freedom in some ways to the country. Okay, so that's sort of similar to what Moses does. Why do you think, as Jews, it's important for us to honor that freedom and equality that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. brought to the country? Does that affect us as Jews? Yeah. You're sure it does? Okay, good. Yeah? He did get shot. That's true. Yeah, sometimes when people stand up for what's right against bad people, violence happens, right? Yeah.
The reason he got shot was because someone thought it wasn't right to have fairness between the countries.
Yeah. Or between different people in the country. Yeah, they were all Americans. But, yeah. What? Right, but somebody didn't agree. So, I'm going to read you this story. I could not believe that I could not find any Jewish books about Martin Luther King Jr. That surprised me somehow, because I don't know if you've ever read the foreword, but there's a secret Jewish history to everything, so that surprised me. But similarly, next Monday is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and when we think about freedom from Pharaoh, equality between the races here in this country, and equality between all people across the world, these are all related themes, right? They're all about going from the narrow places. Egypt in Hebrew is Mitzrayim, the narrow place where we feel stuck and oppressed, and we go out into the big wide open wilderness of freedom. So here's a story that's sort of about that. Do you want to come up closer, children, so you can see the pictures? It's called The Butterfly. So interesting. It was unusually bright that night outside Monique's small bedroom window in Choisy-le-Roi, just outside Paris. The moon was so radiant, it was almost festive. As Monique gazed upon it, she thought that the moon must not know that her village was occupied by German Nazi troops. All of France was, in fact. There was a terrible war raging in what to Monique seemed like the whole world. But this night, the moon seemed not to care. She pulled Pinouf, her cat, up next to her and hugged and kissed her goodnight, and then drifted off to sleep. Monique didn't quite know why she woke up, but suddenly she saw a ghostly little figure sitting next to the window at the end of her bed. A girl about her own age. She was petting Pinouf. "Who are you?" Monique whispered. The ghost child wheeled and looked with sad eyes that seemed frightened, then spun and ran from the room. The next morning at breakfast, Monique could hardly wait to talk to her mother about the ghost, but her mother seemed almost angry. It wasn't like Marcel Solelage. Full disclosure, the last time I tried to speak French, a French man told me to stop embarrassing myself. So I'm doing my best with these names. It was not like Marcel Solelage to be angry at anyone. It was only a dream, child. Do you hear? Only a dream. Now go to school. God knows how much longer you will have the privilege of going to school. With the war, Mother's voice trailed off. Monique couldn't wait to get to school so that she could tell her best friend Denise about the ghost. Since Monique was an only child, Denise was like a sister to her. On their way home from school that afternoon, Denise asked Monique, what did this ghost look like? She was dark and had very sad eyes. Weren't you very, very frightened? Denise asked. Not at first, yes, but the longer I looked at her, a feeling came over me. A feeling of fear for her, Monique answered. They stopped and peered into the front window of Monsieur Marc's candy shop. He waved at them, as he always did. He loved children in the neighborhood and always had small bits of brightly wrapped candies for them in his apron pocket. As the girls entered the store, they saw that most of the jars that used to be filled with every kind of candy and confection were empty. The war. But Monsieur Marx had saved something for them. For you, little Monique, Monsieur Marx cooed as he dropped a bright dot of sweetness into her hand. And for you, ma petite, he said as he beautifully wrapped confection rolled into Denise's waiting hands. Monique and Denise unwrapped their candies and popped them into their mouths. But as they were walking away from the store, they suddenly saw tall boots coming up toward the hill. The tall, shining boots of marching Nazi soldiers. They clicked their heels like gunshots along the cobblestone path. People froze and tried not to look at the soldiers. The girls wanted to run but knew better. They had learned to chat and laugh as though they had no cares in the world. Are they looking at you? At us? Monique asked breathlessly when they had gotten a distance away. Denise looked back. No, they're still marching. Then they heard loud yelling and glass breaking. They both wheeled and looked. To their horror, they saw Monsieur Marx being dragged from the shop. The Nazis were shouting as they pushed him to the ground. They watched the Nazis kick him. Monique covered her mouth to hold back a scream. A car drove up and the Nazis threw him in the back of it. Don't look for too long, Monique, Denise warned. If we do, they'll come for us too. The girls were both sobbing by the time they ran up Rue de Bonnard to Monique's mother's house. They knew it had happened before during these years of occupation, but they had never seen it. And to Monsieur Marx, why, Mama? Why would they do that? Monique choked through the sobs. The Nazis hate people like Monsieur Marx. It is so pointless and cruel. Her voice faded to a whisper. What do you mean, people like Monsieur Marx, Mama? Monique asked again. You know, Monique, her mother answered. Jews. But Monsieur Marx is a Frenchman, Denise said. Marcel hugged them both. The Nazis can't be here forever, my sweet children. Mother France has been here for centuries. They for a short time. Marcel had tears in her eyes. Now I'll fix you some soothing tea. Monsieur Marx would not want either of you to be worried or sad. Madame, a voice called from the front door. It was Père Voyard, their priest from Saint-Germain. He rushed in. Have you heard what happened to Monsieur Marx? Marcel motioned him to come into the other room, and they closed the door. Monique was used to her mother having hushed conversations in the living room, especially since the war. Many nights passed, and Monique didn't see the little ghost again. But late one night, Monique awoke with a start to see the little ghost sitting on the window seat. This time, it was holding Pinouf. Monique thought to herself, this is no dream. I can hear Pinoof purring. I see you there, Monique whispered. The little ghost sprang to her feet, but Monique stopped her from running away again. Don't be afraid, it's all right for you to be here. The little ghost with sad eyes sat down and said nothing. What is your name? Where do you come from? Monique asked. The little girl just sat there for the longest time, holding on tightly to Pinoof. I once had a cat just like this one, she said finally. Her name is Pinoof. What's yours? Monique sat down beside the ghost girl. My name is Severine. Where do you live? Monique whispered. I have lived in many places since the war, the ghost answered. Where do you live now? Your parents must miss you, especially in the middle of the night like this. The girl didn't answer. Where do you live? Monique insisted. Here, Severine finally said. Here? Monique said with such surprise and so loudly that it might have awakened the whole neighborhood. But I live here. Severine motioned Monique to follow her. They both tipped down the stairs and crept into the day room. There Monique saw the rug pulled back and what looked like a door in the floor. Severine pulled up the door and they both climbed down a very narrow set of stairs into a part of the cellar that Monique didn't even know existed. The walls were scraped clean and there was a small table with a tiny tray and supper dishes on it. Monique could see another small room with cots. It looked like people were sleeping on them. My mother and father and I have been here for a very long time, Severine whispered. We're being hunted by the Nazis, you know. We are Jewish. There are many of us hiding all over France. But how have you stayed here without my mama knowing? Oh, Madame Solilage? She knows. We aren't the only ones that she has helped. How could this have been? In her own home, with her own mother, and she never said a word about it? Your mother made me promise that I would never come to your room again while you were there. I don't understand. It puts you in great danger to know about me. She is protecting you. Monique started to say more, but it sounded like footsteps echoing upstairs. Could Marcel have heard them? Vite, vite, Monique. Severine pushed her up the stairs, out of the hidden room. But when will I see you again? Monique whispered, as the door closed over the top of her new friend. The next morning, at breakfast, Monique didn't even know what to say to her mother. Somehow, she seemed mysterious, but she chatted to Monique cheerfully as always. Go to your garden, my sweet child, and cut some of your beautiful flowers for our table, won't you? Monique stepped out of the kitchen into the garden with Pinoof trotting after her. Pinoof was playing with the petals of the flowers as Monique cut them and put them into the basket, when all at once the cow crouched and made herself flat against the ground. Her eyes were ablaze. Then Monique saw why. A papillon, a butterfly, fluttered from flower to flower. As it landed on a bright blue iris near the wall, Monique gathered Pinoof into her lap. No, ma petite, just look. See how beautiful? They both sat quietly and watched the butterfly together. Suddenly the air grew still and heavy. The birds in the garden stopped singing. Pinoof hid herself in the folds of Monique's apron. Monique looked over the wall and saw tall, shiny boots. Her heart leapt into her chest. 3 Nazi soldiers glared at her. One reached over the wall and took the butterfly in his leather-covered fist. Mama, mama, tall boots! Monique shrieked as she ran into the house and blurted out what had just happened in the garden. Sacre bleu, those monsters, her mother grumbled as she held her child as close as she could. Mama, did they do to Monsieur Marx what they did to the butterfly? Her mother did not answer. She rocked Monique gently and stared out the window. But Monique had her answer. Now she understood the sadness in Severine's eyes. The fear was in the eyes of her neighbors and friends whenever the Nazi soldiers came close. And she knew now she had to protect her friend. At all costs, she kept the secret that lived in her basement. From that time on, Severine came to Monique's room as often as she could without waking her own parents or Monique's mother. Marcel could never know. When the girls were together, they played dress-up and had midnight tea parties. They laughed and giggled and told each other all their dreams. Monique collected things from the outside world for Severine to see and feel and touch. "What did you bring me tonight?" Severine asked softly one night. Monique reached into a small cloth bag and sprinkled rich black earth into Severine's hands. "This smells like the air outside," Monique told her. Then she handed Severine a bright flower from her garden. "This will be your sunshine." "And now close your eyes." Monique slowly opened her cupped hands. Look, it was a glorious butterfly. "A papillon," Severine whispered in wonder. Monique patted the butterfly near Severine's cheek. "Let its wings flutter," Monique whispered. Severine caught her breath and smiled. "Like the kiss of an angel," Monique said softly. Tears began to fill Severine's eyes and roll down her cheeks. "I miss my home, Monique. My own bed, my own kitty, my garden." "The Nazis won't be here forever," Monique said. "Mama says they will lose this war. At our home, we celebrate Shabbat, the holidays, Passover, Hanukkah. My mother cooked for days. Family came from everywhere. And then it all changed. You'll be home someday, you'll see. Papa is so sick from breathing in damp air. He hasn't seen sunlight for months. Mama has to cover his mouth with a pillow so that his coughing can't be heard. I promise, Severine, someday you'll be free as that butterfly." "Let it fly now, Monique," Severine says. "When it flies, it will be as if Papa, Mama, and I are flying away." The girls took the butterfly to the open window and threw it into the night air, then stood and watched it until they couldn't see it anymore. All of a sudden, they looked up. For what reason, who knew? They saw Monsieur Landormy, the man next door, looking right at them from his window across the courtyard. Monique's heart leapt into her chest. Severine slid down onto the windowsill so Monsieur Landormy couldn't see her. The girls looked at each other in sheer terror. They knew they had to tell Marcel. They ran to her room and woke her. She was startled to see the two of them together. When they told her about their secret meetings in Monsieur Landormy, Marcel sank to her knees in front of them. "Oh, mon Dieu, my gosh! Are you angry, Madame Solalage?" Severine asked as she began to cry. "Oh, no, ma petite. Of course I'm not angry. You're a little girl. You didn't ask for this war to be kept in a cellar. You needed to play. Children need children." Marcel smoothed her hair. "But you are no longer safe here, my dear. We must leave home tonight." Marcel began to pull on her clothes. "We need to get you and your family out of the country. Let me see. Père Vouillard will take your parents to the next refuge. You will travel with Monique and me. Yes, hurry, my petites. Put on as many clothes as you can. Dress in layers. We can't carry valises or we will attract attention." The girls watched as Marcel, Père Vouillard, and Severine's parents dug holes in the cellar floor and buried everything that would look like somebody had lived there. Then it was time for them all to leave. Her parents came out dressed as a nun and a priest. They both cried as they held Severine and said their goodbyes. They would meet next in a village in southern France near the Swiss border. "God be with us this night," Père Vouillard prayed. "Adonai Yehiyeh etanu halayla," Severine's father prayed as he cried. "God will be with us tonight." It seemed that Monique, Severine, and Marcel had walked for miles and miles in darkness, through back alleys, avoiding street lamps, taking great care to be as quiet as it was possible to be. With the first light of dawn, they had reached the countryside. They stopped to rest under a grove of trees, close to their rendezvous with the people who would take Severine to her parents. Marcel had just given the girls bread and cheese when she pulled them both into a ditch. She motioned for them to be still and quiet. A patrol car full of Nazis slowly drove by on the country road. After the car had passed, the three sat without speaking. Finally, another car came driving slowly down the road. It stopped by the bridge a few hundred feet away, turning its headlights on and off 3 times. "It's time, my precious children," Marcel whispered, and she pushed Severine out of the ditch, and they ran toward the car. "These people will help you and your mama and papa." At the car, Monique took something from the pouch she'd been carrying. It was Pinouf. "Take her, Severine," Monique whispered. Tears welled up in Severine's eyes. She folded Pinouf into her sweater, then reached into her pocket and pulled out a fine gold chain on which hung a gold star of David. "Remember me, Monique." "We are practically home, my little one," Marcel said to him as she and Monique arrived at the train station in Melun. This was where they would board the train to go back to Choisy-le-Roi. There was an unusual amount of travelers for that early time of day. The station was crowded. Nazi soldiers were everywhere, stopping people, searching them, and barking orders. Marcel took her daughter's hand. In the other, Monique clutched the chain. As Monique and Marcel drew closer and closer to the gate where their papers would be checked, Marcel pulled a bundle of tickets and documents from her handbag. The entire station of people had to squeeze through a tiny gate to board the train. Suddenly, the crowd behind Monique and her mother surged and pushed so hard, Monique lost Marcel's hand. Monique couldn't see her mother anymore. People pushed and shoved, and Monique lost her footing and fell. When she did, Severine's necklace slid out of her hand onto the platform floor. Quickly, she put it into her pocket, pulled herself to her feet, and slipped into the line that was pushing through the checkpoint and was swept with them into a shabby coach car. Tall boots were shouting everywhere. What if they searched her and found the necklace? And where was her mama? She could see through the window of the train car people standing on the platform watching to catch a train going in the other direction. Had her mother been pushed into that line instead of onto this train? She tried to see through her own tears to find her mother's face. When she saw a girl alone, she looked thin and sad, very sad, like Severine. On the girl's coat was a yellow star of David. Was it Severine? No, it couldn't be. But it could be. Monique held Severine's necklace tight in her pocket. "Oh, Mama, where are you?" she cried as the train lurched away. The train rolled into a noisy stop at St. George, only 2 kilometers from Choisy-le-Roi. From home, Monique walked through the alleys and back streets that only hours before she, Severine, and Mama had passed. "Oh, Mama," she cried as she walked when Monique finally saw the familiar threshold of her front door. She pushed it open and climbed the stairs. She could smell her mother's scent in the air. She was so very tired. She threw herself across her bed and fell into a deep sleep. Then she dreamed of her mother's voice. "Ma chérie, ma petite," the voice said. She dreamt a cool hand crossed her brow. It seemed so real. And when she opened her eyes, it was real. The voice was real. Her mama was there. "Oh, my sweet, brave little girl," her mother cried as they rocked in each other's arms. "I just knew that I would find you here." 1 week passed, and Monique tried to imagine that Severine and her mama and papa, and of course Pinouf, were safe. Then the tall boots would march by her front gate, reminding her of how hopeless it seemed. If only she had a message from Severine, a sign, something. And then one day, Monique and Marcel were planting next year's bulbs in the garden when Marcel suddenly gasped, "Regarde, Mama, look." They looked at the bleak sky above, and a butterfly fluttered down into the garden, and then another, and another, and another. They both watched as butterflies started to land on the dry stalks of faded flowers. First there were 3, and then 10, and then 20, and 30. Neighbors came out of their cottages and peered over the wall in wonder. "It's a sign, Mama, a miracle. Severine sent them, I know it. She and her parents are safe." Monique held up her hand, and a butterfly fluttered and landed on her finger. She took it to her cheek. Its wings fluttered. A kiss. Monique said softly. And now we turn toward our concluding prayers. Do my friends on the floor want to come open the ark for Aleinu? Aleinu is on page 586. And please prepare yourself for the ark to be open. Okay, Carl, come on this side. Pull. It's okay, it's okay. I think you do need help, Carl. There you go. Okay. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Where did you find these?
The Torahs?
Yes.
You have to get them made, or you inherit them.
You made them?
Yes, I hand wrote all three of them.
What?
Let's
That means
let's
they're
close
not
the ark.
Jewish?
What?
Let me do it, Naomi. Can I do it at least? You.
All right, both of you can close it together. Come on, all three of you.
Goodbye, Crown. What did you say? Goodbye, Crown. You may all be seated. You all may be seated separately.
What?
And not later.
We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us in body but remain with us in spirit. This week marks a yahrzeit for Dorothy Noren Salinger, Blanche Levinson, Sarah Schlosser, Molly Ulmer Pace, Babette Shuloff Adams, Trudy Edelstein, and Sylvia Berkowitz. And we are still within the year of mourning for Tony Gerisi, John Jenkins, Peter Winkler, Bernice Strassner, Clara Breeding, Lori Gilbert Kay, Roland Lane, Larry Washington, Dean Atchley, Sophie Levy, Donna Thatcher, Deborah Friedlander, Abraham Finkel, Harold Herman, Nancy Hollowitz, Roland Laramie, Mindy Ferenz, Moishe Deutsch, Douglas Miguel Rodriguez, and Bob Katz. And if anyone else has a name they'd like to share at this time, please do so. The Mourners' Kaddish is on page 598. Mourners and those who wish to join them may rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. You may be seated. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. 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 ואמרו, amen. At this time, I would like to call up Ben to talk about his mitzvah project, and then Alec to give us some announcements.
My bar mitzvah project is coming up on February 22nd and February 29th at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are going to clean up outside of the temple, including the retention pond, fixing the playground, repairing the sukkah, and cleaning and repairing the sign. The website will be put up shortly and listed in the next few kibbutz.
Thank you, Rabbi Liz. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Rabbi, students from the religious school, thank you for leading us in a wonderful service. Teachers of the religious school, thank you for such wonderful effort in educating the students so that they did such a wonderful job in leading us in the service. And parents of the religious school students, thank you for bringing your students here tonight. Thank you to Mike and Jeff for the oneg that we'll all be enjoying here shortly. And Ben, thank you for that wonderful announcement. Tomorrow, starting at 10:30, will be the Interfaith Day of Learning. And I apologize, we met briefly in the back, or before the service, but we do have a fellow from the ISJL, the Institute of Southern Jewish Living. And I'm sorry, your name is? Dave Miller. Welcome, we're glad you're here. It should be a very interesting day. It starts at 10:30, there's different segments to it. You don't have to come for the whole thing. You are coming, you don't have to, but if possible, if you haven't, please RSVP to the rabbis so we have an idea of how many are coming. But it should be very interesting. The next day, Sunday, there is no religious school, but there is adult education at 1 o'clock. Then, next week, and here's where it gets a little complicated. So Friday night, there's Tot Shabbat at 6:30. But there's no Shabbat service here Friday night, next Friday night, a week from tonight. There'll be a Saturday morning service. We've started something one weekend a month. We're going to try a Saturday morning service, a Friday night service. It's going to be next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock. And then adult education next weekend is going to follow the service approximately at 11:15, estimated. So it won't be on Sunday, it's going to be on Saturday next weekend. And then at 12:30, the youth group will have a Harry Potter movie marathon. They'll be screening 4 Harry Potter movies. Youth groupers are welcome to come for all or some of the movies. Should be a quite a wizardry of a day. Okay, that one didn't work, but I'll try. Then the next day, the 25th, Sunday the 25th, there is religious school again. So again, no religious school this Sunday. There is religious school next Sunday. And then Sisterhood is also having an event next Sunday, the 25th, Soup and a Movie at Juliet's house, starting at 1 o'clock. Please RSVP to Juliet. We do need volunteers, as always, many positions, but especially grant writing and someone to organize the ONEGs. More events coming up in the future. They're in the e-kibitz, and more to follow with that. Again, thank you to our students. Thank you, Rabbi, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's in the e-kibitz, and I don't have a whole lot of the details off the top of my head.
Yes. Bring them anytime between now and preferably next weekend, but there will probably be a little bit of leeway time after next weekend as well. But next Saturday while we watch the Harry Potter movies, we'll be making those double-sided fleece blankets to hand out to those without homes. And we thought if you have other winter wear or blankets or whatever to give out as well, you know, you could help us bolster our donation. So if you have gloves, hats, scarves, coats, whatever, socks also, the homeless always need socks that are either new or gently used. Bring them in. There's a box under the table where all the flyers and stuff are. Yeah, thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Our closing song will be Tree of Life. Yes. Which I put 370 up there, but that's wrong. It's actually 374. My bad. You want to come up? Is that why you're making faces at me? Any other religious school kids that want to come up for our last song may do so. Okay. Ready? Eitz Chaim Machkazikim B'Betomcheha Me'ushar Eitz Chaim Machkazikim B'Betomcheha Me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us for Kiddush and Oneg.
Enjoy your evening.